Hey folks, it's the Daily Landsblog. What do I hear? What is that?
Nothing?
Sorry, are you eating? Are you crunching?
No?
Are you crunching chips?
Want one?
Oh my God, I do. Okay, so let's start with the Daily Landsblog. I mean, it's going to be a little bit emotional and certainly not something to make light about in a second. But I will say this. There's a few things in life that I believe are universal. I mean, I believe whether you're here or in the United States or any place in the world, the one thing that everybody likes is a chip. Now, this is a specific kind of chip. What kind of chip is this, Case?
It's a nacho.
It's a nacho.
From Whole Foods.
From Whole Foods. It's a Whole Foods nacho. Yes, we live it up here in the Landsberg household. But here's what I want to ask you first and foremost. Is there anybody that doesn't like chips? Like that you have one kind of chip. All you need is to be able to say, you know what, Ripple chips or regular chips or ketchup chips or barbecue chips, whatever it is. If you don't like any chips at all, I want to hear from you right now. Okay.
You gonna eat that? Because I'll take it back.
Okay, go ahead. Let's hear. Let's hear.
Yeah. No, you dropped it.
Okay, here you go. It's a 5-second rule. Go ahead. That was just a tiny little bite. So we've been talking over the last couple of days about depression, the bad time in your life, and depression, the illness. And it's really important, I think, to distinguish. And a woman named, I think she would pronounce her last name Montague, Wanda Montague, messaged us. And this is heavy duty stuff, so get ready for it. The day before he died by suicide, my husband frowned and with tears said to me, "I'm so sad." He was in crisis over some potential bad news. Of course he was sad. He was dead the next day, and to this day I still think sad is not depressed. He was depressed, not merely sad. Saying that you're sad when you're really in trouble doesn't cut it, but most of us, this is an interesting way to look at it, don't recognize depression in ourselves. He never got a chance to get a diagnosis. Now I struggle every day to feel alive inside. I mean, of course, I'm sorry, and of course, we're all sorry, and of course, that's a heartbreaking story. But you make a good point and an important point that it's not just people coming out and saying, "Yeah, you know what, I'm struggling. I'm going to be open. I'm going to share." It's recognizing in yourself the fact that this is a mental health issue, not just sadness, and that's why you have to differentiate. Why it's important for us to talk about this: the difference between depressed, bad time, and depressed, the illness. I would say for the most part, people who are having a bad time, who are struggling with something, don't have necessarily the same suicidal thoughts that people with the illness do. And here's what I would ask you. There's no one way to diagnose depression, but there's one way that I can think of that works for me. And that is the simple question: when you wake up in the morning, are you pretty sure, are you positive, in fact, that you will not experience joy that day? Now, this is not like, if you pass this test, it's not like you don't have an issue. But ask yourself, when was the last time you felt this basic joy, this thing that makes us human, which is the ability to celebrate little things? And I've talked about the basic joy test before. For me, it's a sip of a cup of coffee. But I ask you this: when was the last time that you just felt simple, basic joy? And if the answer to that is it's been a week or 2 weeks, okay, you know what? Maybe it's just a bad little time. But if it's been a month or 6 months or a year or 5 years or 10 years, or maybe for most of the last part of your life, I would say you have to ask yourself the question, am I okay? And is there a better place that I can get to with treatment that will allow me to feel the basic joy? If you come to that conclusion, it's not a bad thing, because if you've been miserable, something's wrong with you. It's acknowledging it and saying, okay, you know what? I'm not going to let it go anymore. I am going to fight for my happiness. I'll continue with this tomorrow. Right now, I tell you, it's SickNotWeak.com, 24 hours a day, 364 days a year. Give me the chip, Case. Give me the chip. Okay, listen, this is how you eat a chip. Chips are the best.